Alright, in this video, I'm going to explain another multiple angles, which is the half angle formulas. So over here, there are three formulas. The first one is that when you have sine half. So you see over here, your angle is not a single angle theta, but it's half angle, which is A over by 2. Okay, the formula says that it will be equivalent to plus minus square root of 1 minus by cosine A over by 2. Now, this plus minus is very important. So, you need to choose whether it's plus or minus according to your half angle over here. So, again, this one, I'm going to put it need to choose. Okay? So, plus minus need to choose according to your half angle. So later I will show in the example. Now the cosine A over by 2, again plus minus 1 plus by cosine A over by 2. Again the last one, tangent A over by 2 equivalent to 1 minus by cosine A over by sine A. Now this one you don't have to choose, and you have two choices, whether you want to choose the first one or this one, sine A over by 1 plus by cosine A. So you can choose either one. Alright? Now let's look at the example. The first one, example 19 on the page 65 in your textbook. So find the exact value of each expression of sine 15. Again, sine 15 is not in the special angle, so you don't have straight away the exact value. So you have to do something with it to find sine 15. I think we did in the addition and subtraction, where you can actually minus out from 45 minus by 30 degrees and you get 15 degrees. But instead of you do that, you can do another way round by using the half angle. How to do it is that this one you can put it as sine 30 degrees, which is your special angle, which is over by this one over by 2. So these two will give you the same 15 degrees. So this is 15, this also is 15. Okay. Now, how to use the formula? So the formula says that if you have sine of A over by 2, okay, I'm going to show you. Sine A over by 2 is 1 plus minus 1 minus by cosine A over by 2. Now, determine what is your A over here. Since your A is 30 degrees, so you can know that your A is equivalent to 30 degrees. Okay? Then, what else you can know? Do you know your plus minus? Again, your plus minus, you have to check from your half angle, which is your 15. Okay, this part. So, since your theta here is 15 degrees, so it falls on quadrant 1. So, if it is quadrant 1, your sign is positive. Since the sign is positive, you have to choose the positive for the formula. So, what can you conclude is that this can be equivalent to the positive square root of, the formula say that 1 minus by cosine of A over by 2. So, simply substitute. This one will give you 1 minus by cosine, your A is 30, so 30 degrees, over by 2. Cosine 30 you can know from your exact value, which is sec 3 over by 2. So substitute, you will have over here 1 minus by sec 3 over by 2 over everything by 2. So square root. Okay, then simplify. Don't leave your answer like this. So simplify further. So you have 2 minus by square root 3 over by. Now this will be a common denominator over by 2. Divided by 2 will give you over by 4. So this one's, okay, square root. There you can leave your answer, but you see that if you separate the square root, this part, you can separate it as square root of 2 minus by square root 3 over by, if your denominator you have a square root 4, which simplify as 2. So your final answer is going to be this. Okay. Now one more time. So if you have sine 15, so over here is 15. Because you cannot have the special angle, which is give you exact value, so you have to alter a bit. So over here, I'm showing you using the half angle, so you can put it as 30 divided by 2. So 30 divided by 2, you will have the angle A, which is 30 degrees. So this one can give you an exact value of a special angle. But you have to choose from the formula whether you want to take the plus or minus on the front side. Okay. So since your 15 degrees falls on quadrant 1 and your sign is positive, so this you take the positive sign. Okay, then the rest of it just simply substitute. Cosine 30, you know the exact value set 3 over by 2, then simplify. Right, now I'm going to show you another one, which is part B. Okay, part B, they give you cosine 112.5. So this thing, for sure, you don't know the special angle. So what you do is that, try to relate with your half angle. So what is it that you divided by 2, you got 112.5. So how to know the number that you divided by 2 is just simply you multiply by 2. What is it that you multiply by 2? So over here you can write it as cosine some number divided by 2, you got 112.5. So how you do vice versa is that you just simply multiply by this. So 112 multiplied 0.5 multiplied by 2, you will have 225 degrees. Okay, so these two are going to be the same thing, just nothing more, just in a different form. Alright, now over here you can know already which is your angle A. This is going to be your angle A. You can know your angle A is equivalent to 225 degrees. Okay, now for cosine function, the half angle also, you will have to choose whether the plus or minus. And then the formula says that you're going to have 1 plus by cosine A over by 2. Okay, how to choose the plus minus? It depended on the angle 112.5. So you can say that since your theta 112.5 falls on which quadrant? This one would be at quadrant 2. Okay, now quadrant 2 you have to know the cosine, does it give you positive or does it give you negative? How you want to know is just simply your add sugar to coffee. So add sugar to coffee. Quadrant 2 only sign that is positive. Your cosine will be negative. So cosine negative. So cosine negative, so you have to take negative square root 1 plus by cosine 225 degrees over by 2. Okay, so again one more time. This plus minus depended on your 112.5. So since it falls on quadrant 2, which give you the cosine is a negative. So you have to choose negative. This A, angle A is from the one that you find just now, 225. Then the rest of it is from your knowledge from Maths 1. How you want to simplify your cosine 225. This one you need to use your reference angle. I hope that you still remember. So your reference angle, what you can do is that is equivalent to negative 1 plus by, because your 225 falls on quadrant 3. So quadrant 3, over here, this is 225 degrees. So how to find your reference? You need to minus 180. So what's left is cosine 45 degrees. But again, your add sugar to coffee is very important. Since over here, on quadrant 3, your cosine is negative. So you have to put here negative. Alright, make sure you put the correct sign. Okay, then over by, this is over by 2, nothing more. Okay, so settle with that. Now, the rest of it, because you have already cosine 45, you can solve by substituting the exact value. So your exact value over here will be set 2 over by 2. So this one, simplify a bit. So this one, negative. I think I'm going to take out 1 over by 2 outside. So this one would be 1 plus minus, going to get minus. So this one would be minus by, cosine 45 is set 2 over by 2. Square root everything. Okay, equivalent to minus by, this is half. So simplify, this one you're going to get 2 minus by square root 2 over by 2, multiply. Alright, then this one can be negative square root of, this would be 2 minus by square root 2 over by 4. Again, you can simplify further, which is going to give you your answer equivalent to negative square root 2 minus by square root 2 over by 2. Because your square root, your numerator over by square root for denominator, which give you 2. Alright?